All right, guys, ESPN's all-time NBA player rankings were released, and the top 10 came out this morning. Shaq came in at 10, right ahead of him. At number 9, the top of the list was the one and only Michael Jordan, the greatest of all time. LeBron, you know what? He came in second place. Shannon, this is your first time seeing the list. What do you make of it?
First time? I'm trying to figure out, okay, which one of these guys, Jenny, on that top 10 list can still add to their resume? Just let me know which one. Let that sink in for just a second. The man that finished number 2 on this list, everybody else has been retired at the bare minimum for how long, Skip? Bare minimum, say 4 or 5 years. Kobe was the last one to retire. So Kobe is the last one, rest his soul, going into the Hall this year. But Duncan, Bird, Wilt, Magic, Russell, Kareem, Shaq, Kobe, nobody else. Their building is, Skip, you know what I'm saying? We gonna build bigger building. You know what I'm saying, Skip? You know, my palatial estate up here in Bel Air, Skip, you know, it's not, I still got a couple of wings I'm still working on. Everybody else done finished their house up here. So I'm still adding. So when we redo this list in a couple of years, everybody on ESPN gonna know what I know to be true right now. But let's be real, Skip. The Last Dance documentary just came out, is out right now. Do you actually think the network that's airing the Last Dance documentary is going to have this subject number 2 or number 3 on the list? Stop playing, Skip. You know better. But you know what, Skip? Today I feel good because all I know is this. If LeBron James is a 7 or an 8, I'm looking at this list and I see some guys that's way, way on down there. Them twos you treat, them are twos and fuse to me, Skip. Anything that's after 5 is twos and fuse. That's all I'm saying.
So, timeout. I thought you just previewed at the top of the show that if LeBron wasn't number 1 on this list, you were going to tear your office down, or what were you going to do? I don't see that. I don't hear that.
As he said, if I were to wreck my shop, we're going to have to go to black. That means everything is going, that you're not going to be able to have me in the screen, Skip. And I don't want to do that because we got 2 more hours to do this thing. So after the show, Skip, we might have to I might have to film somewhere else because I'm a wreck shop in here. You know it's bull jive, Skip Bayless. 16 times he's been an all-star. 16 times he's been all-NBA. This year will be 13, which will be more than anybody in the history of the NBA. 4-time league MVP, 3 finals MVP, went to 8 straight finals. Stop it. What?
I feel like Jordan, as we saw the other night at the end of the documentary, when they handed him the iPad so that he could watch Gary Payton talk about how he shut him down, the glove, and Jordan just threw his head back and just laughed. I'm laughing at you. I apologize while I'm doing it, but I am laughing at everything you're saying because the truth is, there's one guy on this list who happens to be at the top of this list who is still active. He's still adding to his legacy. His name is Michael Jordan. And through a documentary that he finally signed off on, after all these years, it took 22 years for him to sign off on the footage going public. He did it. And I told you before the doc started airing, the reason he's doing it is because he's getting sick and tired of hearing people like you try to make this phony GOAT case for LeBron James. It is making him sick. And he finally said, enough. And once again, as he always did as a player, he dropped the thunder and the lightning all over LeBron's GOAT argument. He is still active, even from the quote-unquote grave. He's long gone. He's long retired, and he's still adding to his legacy with The Last Dance. It ain't over until it's over, Shannon, and won't be over until this next Sunday night when we watch the final 2 episodes, 9 and 10. And while you're right, LeBron is the one truly, officially active player, and he does have a chance, an opportunity to add a wing to his mansion in Brentwood. It's not up the hill in Bel Air like you. I mean, God knows. LeBron doesn't have enough clout and wherewithal to live in Shannon Sharp's neighborhood, which is way up the hill, up Beverly Glen from here. A palatial estate. He's coming to you from the wine cellar of his palatial estate up in Bel Air. He's not exactly the Fresh Prince. He's a little older than the Fresh, but he's still the Prince of Bel Air, is Shannon Sharp. So Shannon still has a chance to add a wing, but he also has a chance to subtract a wing, because right now we're in a pandemic. Stock market is not in a good place right now, and that could also happen to LeBron's active legacy. He could also blow it. He could, who knows, dare I say, have some sort of playoff tournament clash with the Los Angeles Clippers, led by my guy, Kawhi Leonard. What if he stinks it up? What if he melts down, shrinks, disappears against Kawhi and company in some sort of July or August tournament finals of the Western Conference? Well, yeah, that could happen. So you could also subtract from your legacy. And now to your point about ESPN, obviously, yes, they're airing this documentary, but I think they would look foolish if they put LeBron number one. I think they look foolish putting him number two, but obviously he is the face of the National Basketball Association that ESPN does televise. They're one of the TV partners, obviously, along with ABC and obviously TNT. They're obviously with ABC. And so they had to make sure that they're politically correct by putting LeBron number two. But here start my problems. And I'm not second-guessing this. I first guessed it last week, Shannon Sharp. We put out, I can't remember if you did it, but I divulged my all-time top 10 list. Was it last week or maybe even the week before? A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, last week. It was last week.
And well, it was last week, I believe. So on my top 10 all-time list, I had, obviously, Michael first. I had Magic second and Shaq third on my list. So I'm not being a hypocrite here. This isn't 2020 hindsight. I had Shaq third. I also had Kobe seventh, and I had LeBron ninth. Shaq third, Kobe seventh, LeBron ninth. So how in good conscience can ESPN's list put Kobe ninth and Shaq 10th and LeBron second?
Easy.
Shannon,
because
I'm sorry, that's just wrong. That's just so wrongly wrong, because Shaquille O'Neal was better than LeBron James. I'm going to say it again.
Stop now. Stop.
I was there.
Stop, Skip. Stop.
I covered these games. I watched it from the front row, from press row. I saw Shaq in all his dominant glory. And to this day, I've told you, I've said it many times right here on Undisputed, Shaquille O'Neal, for that three-peat stretch, 2000, 2001, 2002, was the most unstoppable offensive force, I'm talking about force, that we've ever seen in the history of basketball. I told you it was not pretty. It was almost impossible to referee, because nearly every play was block, charge, block, charge. I don't know. He played football against people who were trying to play basketball, and nobody could stop him. And that first year in 2000, Shannon, Shaquille O'Neal averaged 30 a game and led the league in scoring. And he averaged 14 rebounds, and he averaged 4 assists for a big man. That's special. And he averaged 3 blocks. And he made first team all defense. Well, I don't know what more you could ask for. They destroyed everybody they played through the playoffs. My Spurs, Tim Duncan, David Robinson, they got like ragdolled, like they were just dolls full of stuffing. They just got tossed out of the way by Shaquille O'Neal. And I got you, 50% free throw shooter. But you send him to the line enough, he's still going to make 15 free throws. And he's going to foul everybody out. You only get 6, so pretty soon you're going to be down to your 12th man. Nobody could deal with him. And remember, he's having to share shots with one of the all-time no-conscience shooters we've ever seen in the history of the league in Kobe Bryant.